I want to rise holy when I rise. And we want to rise holy. And the only way we can rise holy, we must be washed by the regeneration of his word. Book of Joshua, chapter number 20, 1 through 7. Amen. Hallelujah. And it reads, "The Lord also spoke unto Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Appoint out for your cities of refuge, whereof I have spoke unto you by the hand of Moses, that the slayer that killeth any person unaware and unwittingly may flee thither, and they shall be your refuge from the avenger of blood. And when he that do flee unto one of these cities shall stand at the entering of the gate of the city, and shall declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city, they shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them." Verse 5. "And if the avenger of the blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver the slayer up unto his hand, because he smote his neighbor unwittingly, and hated him not before time. And he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, and until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days, when shall the slayer return and come unto his own city and unto his own house, unto the city from whence he fled. And they appointed Kadesh in Galilee, in Mount Naphtali, and Shechem, in Mount Ephraim, and Kidron, which is in Hebron, in the mountain of Judah." I want to preach today, speak to us from the subject, the city of refuge, the mountain of Judah. The city of refuge, the mountain of Judah. There in the pages of history, our congregation knows that the pastor is a history buff. Here in the pages of history, it recorded a period of time that took place called the Italian migration phenomenon of the 19th and 20th century. This large-scale migration of Italians away from Italy occurred in several distinct ways. The first occurred between the unification of Italy in 1861 and 1900. The second period of mass migration occurred between 1900 and 1914, the beginning of World War I. From 1861 to 1914, a total of 40 million European immigrants overseas, about 2/3 settled in the USA. 16 million of them were Italians. The third wave of Italian immigration followed World War II. After 6 years of war, many people dreamed of a fresh start in a new homeland. There were key factors behind this migration. Number one, it was poverty. Was the primary reason Italians left their homeland, people struggling to carve out a living in their communities. Number two, it was internal political, economic problems were also a factor resulting in fascism. Does that sound familiar to us today? Ideology and the attitude that favors dictatorial government is a repression of all who oppose. This system stripped the people of their inalienable right to exist as a people. They set sail looking for a peace or a place of refuge, and found it on the shores of this country, the land of the free and the home of the brave. God has blessed us with so much, even as we complain about so little. But to enjoy the freedoms of our life, to pursue dreams, and to dare to have ambition is a luxury many will never get to experience. As I digress, certainly there is a need for more community activism and forward economical development. But I find in the midst of our sincere and much needed efforts, we somehow lost touch with the spiritual roots of our past that have afforded us the progress that we have made thus far. As a people of God, we are on a journey, a life that is a preparation for departure, a pilgrimage, hearts, minds, and souls in search of a compass that will lead to not just freedom of life, but freedom of the physical body. But a joyful bliss of the soul. Situations have caused us to make a migration sometimes, to lead to an even greater bondage or oppression. I remember there were times when we could not go certain places. We had to ride on the back of the bus as a people. We couldn't go to certain schools. Couldn't live in certain neighborhoods. Couldn't do the things that we wanted to do. And although we have made great strides politically and financially, and there's still much more to do, but during those times, the church was the only forum that we can gather. And now we're free to go other places. We're free to buy homes in neighborhoods that we desire. We're free to go to school that we desire. But what has happened is we have forgotten about God. God told the children of Israel, he said, when you get over there to the land that flows with milk and honey, you live in houses you didn't have to build, and land you don't have to till. He said, just one thing I want you to do is not to forget about me. Our luxury, our comfortability have caused us to forget about God. And now our freedom have now become our bondage. Pain, sorrow, disappointments, abuse, abandonment, past failures can cause one to doubt the very God that we are taught to trust and to believe in. In the face of such conflict, our faith is tested to expect a better day, a day of deliverance. No other writer brings to light the mystery of the blindness of the wayward Israel by reason of their own conceit. Prophetically, God promised them a deliverer that shall turn away their ungodliness. This was a promise given by covenant. Romans 11:25. For I will not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in the part is happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Verse 26 says, and so all Israel shall be saved. Hallelujah. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. Romans 11:25-26, that which ruined Israel was unbelief